What's going on, guys? Healy here, and today the main point of this video is JT Realmuto. But before we get into that, I am going to point out a couple of the minor moves that got made today. Zack Britton, or otherwise known as Zack Britton, spelled his name Z-A-C-H, and he is now going to go by Z-A-C-K. It's not a change that's like too big. He didn't purposely make the change from a K or from an H to a K, but his actual name is Z-A-C-K. I don't know why he went so long being the wrong name in Major League Baseball. He might not have just cared. I'm not too sure, but his legal name is Z-A-C-K. So that was a big announcement today. Also, Hunter Pence just signed a minor league deal with the Texas Rangers. Very interesting deal. Don't know any details. Well, it's a minor league deal, so we know that. But should be decent for that outfield. The Rangers aren't going to do anything this season. I would expect him to get a decent amount of playing time. His time in San Fran was over, unfortunately. But, hey, congrats to Hunter for signing that deal. And now, let's get into the video. Finally, JT Realmuto has been traded. I feel like I've heard every single day this offseason a new rumor of him being traded somewhere. It was like the Dodgers, then it was the Mets, it was the Phillies, it was the Reds at one point. Every single day it seemed like a new team was in on JT Realmuto. The Marlins were being stubborn, and it paid off. JT Realmuto got traded to the Philadelphia Phillies for Jorge Alfaro, pitching prospects Sixto Sanchez and Will Stewart from the Marlins. And they also gave the Marlins international bonus slot money. Last year, the Phillies, they didn't really have a solid catcher. They traded for Wilson Ramos, but he was in the final year of his deal, so he ended up going to free agency. The Mets ended up signing him, and they were looking for a catcher. JT Realmuto, one of the best catchers in baseball, is now on the Phillies. The Phillies will have him until 2021. He has a one-year deal throughout 2019, and then he has a arbitration year in 2020. So the Phillies are going to get 2 years out of him. JT Realmuto last year was an all-star, and he was a silver slugger. Batted .277 with a .340 on base, .484 slugging, .825 OPS. I'll throw his stats on the screen now. So it's his best year OPS-wise, best year hitting-wise, and you should only expect improvements. JT Realmuto is 27 years of age. He will be 28 by the season start, and he'll be a free agent by 30. So maybe the Phillies end up locking him up if he plays well these next couple years, but they have a solid catcher until then, and they are looking to win now, so great move by the Phillies. Realmuto also played like 13 games at first base. He started 8 of them, so if they do need him to give him a day off, they could throw him at first, but Rhys Hoskins is going to be at first base this year. So now the lineup for the Phillies, it's going to be Realmuto. They're going to have Michael Franco, Cesar Hernandez, Rhys Hoskins, and Gene Segura in the infield. And then their outfield, they're going to have Aaron Altherr, Andrew McCutchen, Odubel Herrera. And who knows, they might go after Machado or Bryce Harper. Who knows? They still have a lot of money that they could spend. So I would expect them to make a big push towards one of those guys. Solid team. Let's take a look at what the Phillies gave up. They gave up a catcher, Jorge Alfaro. He played in 108 games in 2018, batted .262 at a .324 on base with a .407 slugging. They have a .731 OPS. He's pretty decent defensively. His offense is okay. He is 2 years younger than JT Realmuto. That's good for them. They have control under Alfaro until 2024 compared to 2021, like they did with Realmuto. Their window is not close right now, so they needed a guy with a lot of control, especially behind the plate, and Alfaro seems to be the dude. He played in 29 games in 2017. He batted .318, .360, .514 slugging, 100 plate appearances, which is okay. Definitely shows that he could play well. His first technically full year in the bigs, his stats went down a little bit, but I expect him to get better over the next couple years. And the Marlins are doing a good job at stacking guys with a lot of control, and they should all get good at around the same time, you would assume. The Phillies could have just rolled with Alfaro. It wouldn't have been a bad decision to keep him. But at the moment, JT Realmuto is just so much better than Alfaro. And as I said before, the Phillies window to win is right now. They are making it a win now mode type of team, and they need to get the best players that they can at each position. The second guy they gave up was their #1 prospect in 2018, Sixto Sanchez. #1 prospect. He was number 21 for top 100, and he was number 6 for top 10 right-handed pitching prospects. His grades, anything 50 and above is above average. He had a 70 grade fastball, 55 grade curveball, 55 grade changeup, 60 control, and 60 overall. So pretty good. He's 20 years of age. Going to turn 21 halfway through the year. He's pitched in high A ball, which is okay. He's very young, so should move up the ranks over the next couple years. But this guy is expected to be a stud. 2018 in high A, he had a 2.51 ERA, pitched in 8 games, 46 innings, only allowed 1 home run, walked 11, struck out 45 guys. So that is amazing. Allowed a 224 average and a 1.07 whip. Like I said, this guy is expected to be a stud in the future. And if he pans out, be a very big piece to the Marlins contending in the future. The last guy is Will Stewart, 21-year-old pitcher from the Phillies. He pitched in A-ball, full A-ball last year. He had an 8-1 record, 2.06 ERA, 113 innings, striking out 90 batters. Walked 21. He had a 218 average, and he had a .98 whip. This guy was not on the top 30 prospects of 2018 for the Phillies, but based off his stats, he seems like he's pretty good, and he's another young guy. He's a lefty, so they got a lefty and a right-hander. Both guys only in A-ball so far, but from the looks of it, they both could make the majors at some point. Sixto Sanchez will be the guy that makes the most impact, but they could have a gem in Will Stewart coming up over the next few years. I read a couple tweets saying that the Marlins got 4 players, but I only see those 3 guys, and I don't see a 4th. Unless he's a player to be named later or something. I am not sure on that one. I think this deal is great for both sides. Philadelphia gets the catcher that they needed. They're trying to win now. They made a great move. These prospects that they gave away, they aren't going to help out the Phillies win championships now. One of the reasons why you build up a great farm system is so that you can trade away a bunch of them and get good players back in return to win championships. For the most part, if you're a team like the Marlins, you need those guys on your team to become the core that could push you to become a contender. It'll just take a few years, But the Marlins, they're stacking up young guys, and a few of them have to pan out. Not all prospects pan out, but that's why the Marlins are getting a ton in these trades for most of their core. We'll see how they pan out in the next couple years, but the Phillies, great deal for them. Marlins, great deal. I think this is fantastic. And I'm glad that there's actually a good move in baseball. There's still a lot of free agents out there. Bryce Harper and Manny Machado still not signed. Pitchers and catchers report in a few days, and I don't think they're going to sign before teams start playing games, which is unfortunate, but that'll be a talk for another day. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe down below. Let me know your thoughts on this trade. This is Healy, and I'm out. Peace.